All right, sports show. Welcome back. Detroit Lions getting job. Let's call it what the fuck it is. Lions down 19-20. Go for the 2-point conversion. Don't get it. Ineligible wide receiver. Now, I got all the sound bites on here. We'll be playing that here soon in a second. But my God, man. Talk about typical Lions going down in fucking flames, man. Oh, my God. Awful.
Going down in flames like a Russian fighter that got shot down by a missile.
Holy shit. Clearly on the replay, Decker is near the referee. I'm not going to say, we can't tell what the fuck he said, but he's only there for one reason. That's to check in. Skipper was there, so was Penny Sewell. Probably a little bit confusion. As you see, Skipper running on the field. Referee points at him. Decker says something to him. Seems completely oblivious to what Decker says. Runs off. They run the play. Called ineligible. Throw an interception on the next play. Decide not to kick the extra point after there was an offside on Micah Parsons. So many things to unpack and unfold here. First of all, how do you feel about the whole situation that unfolded out there with Decker?
I'm just going to be honest, and you and I have had this talk a little. Not recently, though. I feel like the NFL is rigged sometimes, and I feel like that was rigged. That officiating crew has been part of two other really bad calls this year. One of them was would have been a game winner for the Chiefs. So I'm fine with that because I can't stand the Chiefs. I hope they lose every game. But regardless, you've got a crew that's now had three bad calls. And for me, they're either incompetent, incapable, or they're gambling on games. So I just saw that crew got decertified for the playoffs. Yeah. Just fire them all. Have you ever seen an official in any sport get fired? I never have.
Yeah,
Why aren't we firing these bad crews?
Oh, man, this to me runs so much fucking deeper, though, as a Lions fan. And as a Detroit fan, right? We had the Galarraga incident. Remember that? The no-hitter.
Yeah, Jim Joyce, no!
We had the Chris Webber timeout. We had the fucking Kelvin Johnson no-catch. We had the playoff game against the Cowboys. With a phantom pass interference, they pick it up. After calling pass interference, no explanation as why they pick it up. A couple hours later, you got Jerry Jones' son partying with the officials. That's what I think as a Lions fan, man. It's just a big fuck you to us once again, dude.
It is.
And at least
somebody
in the organization, Campbell, had a little bit of fire in him. I think if this was 10 years ago, I don't think the Lions would have came out as they did. As far as in that presser, because Campbell was pissed. Actually, let's go ahead and play that right now. I got it right about here.
Did Decker report as well? Yeah, the explanation was 70 reported. Yes.
Can't spit his gum out.
And do they need to announce that if both players report?
Two people can't report. I don't want to talk about it. All right. I explain everything pregame to a T. Okay, I did that. 70 reported, 58 didn't, or 68 didn't. We threw it to 68. That was the explanation.
Can you just explain the mentality to go for two there at the end? Obviously, you wanted to keep the game in your hand and try to win it.
Yeah, I told the offense that we were going down 141 left. We're going to go down and score, and then we're going to go for two and finish this game out. I told them that, and so that's what we were doing.
And being backed up, that didn't change anything when you get backed up to the
Backed
seven
up where?
To the 7 instead of the 2 from the 2-point play. Did you think at all?
We were going for win.
Okay, so there it is. So, yeah, that's the thing that really confused me more about. Okay, so once you fail it twice, right? Why do you go for it again? Especially when they went for it the second time on the 7. You're already pushed back, way the fuck back at that point. But yeah, so let's break that down, actually. So you see Decker is already on the field. Skipper comes on the field. He's there with Sewell. Decker and Sewell at the top by the referee talking. Skipper comes on the field. Points at him. You can see his hand like this. Points at Skipper. Decker says something. Seems to be completely oblivious for whatever fucking reason. Oblivious to whatever
it's the officials.
Says. Yeah. Completely oblivious to him. Goes to the line. Tells Dallas, which I'm obviously we don't have audio, but I'm assuming he tells Dallas 70 is eligible. Which right off the bat, the way the formation's set up would have been a non-legal formation anyways, because the eligible receiver wasn't on the end, where the tight end normally would be. So right there already was a fuck up, and he should have realized something was going on. Kind of there at that point. Decker swings out, catches a touchdown pass, gets called back. Who do you think this falls on more, the player or the referee?
Oh, the refs. The ref was in autopilot mode, didn't listen to what they said, didn't care. And then to release that statement after the game that the officials released, get the fuck out of here.
Right.
Just own your mistake and move on. Like, don't. Well, somebody reported. No, I'm sorry, but every single person in the Lions said he didn't report.
Yep.
Every single person. The Lions are not lying. This dumb ref is. And they've screwed up all those other calls throughout the year. So it's clearly on them.
Right. So let's listen to Tyler Decker right here.
Tell me anything after the play. All I really want to say on it, just so I don't get myself into trouble, is, I did exactly what Coach told me to do, and went to the ref, said report, and I don't know. And, it was my understanding too that, Dan brings up the possibility of those sorts of plays pregame. So I did what I was told to do, did how we did it in practice all week, and that's probably all I'm really going to touch on with that.
It looked like Jared did tell you to go over there, and you were all over there.
Mm-hmm. There's not much more I can add to it. See the video of it.
Now, I don't have Skipper on here with the other offensive lineman, but according to Skipper, he didn't tell the referee anything. He said he never said nothing to the referee. So,
I believe
the only thing I'm trying to rationalize is the referee sees Skipper running on the field. He hears a voice, which is obviously, if we believe the Lions, which obviously is Decker. He's assuming it's coming out of Skipper's mouth, and that's why he walks away. You know what I mean? That's the only thing I can fucking really think of, honestly. Besides that, or someone's got a big fucking hefty lump sum being dumped in their fucking bank account coming Monday morning.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that either. I have thought for a while that the NFL has some semblance of rigged, or maybe these officials are betting on games, and unfortunately it's just like MLB. These officiating unions just prevent any accountability, and it's a joke. Give me robo umpires in baseball, give me robo refs in football, because I'm sick and tired of these incompetent buffoons out here ruining games. And it happens so frequently. You remember the famous the scab refs? Yeah. The one guy's calling it a touchdown, the other guy's incomplete. Like,
it's frustrating.
This officiating has been such an issue for a long time. It's only getting worse.
It's so fucking frustrating, dude, as a Lions fan, though, because you just feel like it never fucking ends with us. It fucking really never fucking ends. Here's a fun trivia if you want to get into this shit, because Ford Field has been around since 2002, right? It's about going on 22 years. Quite a while, right? So in the history of Ford Field, how many playoff games do you think the Lions have hosted?
0.
We had a chance to fucking lock up home field advantage. The Lions were the only organization to go 0-16. There's just, you can just go through the stats of how bad we've fucking been. And we finally get to a point we have a chance to do something pretty goddamn special, at least for the Lions' history. And you get fucked like this. Calvin Johnson, like we said, the phantom pass interference against Dallas in the playoff game. It's just
complete the fucking process call.
It's so frustrating. Like, if we were an organization with a history like Pittsburgh or fucking even Baltimore, right? I really don't think it would be a big deal. It would be, but I don't think it would hurt on the level that it does. It just feels like the whole NFL is just lined up, ready to ram you.
Getting bukake'd by the NFL.
Oh my God, that to me, that's the part though. More than anything else, it's just the history of the Lions and
the history of the bad calls against you guys.
I hope they raise hell come Monday. There's nothing we can do about it. But
I said the same thing to my dad when I got home this morning, or this afternoon. I said they need to not roll over and take it. Sheila needs to release a statement condemning them. Brad Holmes, they, to heck with the fines. Who cares?
Fuck the NFL.
Say
fuck
this.
The NFL.
Say this official was incompetent. He was an imbecile, and I want him disciplined.
Right.
It's well within your right to say that.
Yeah, I completely
agree. And you need to release a statement.
Find me whatever the fuck you want. Like, we're going to say what the fuck we're going to say about it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Find me, do whatever the fuck you want. because as a Lions organization, you kind of feel like that us against the world kind of mentality. I mean, hell, even honestly, if you want to go a little deeper about this, they tried to take the Thanksgiving game away from us, which is all we had for all those
Yeah, they
fucking
did.
years. And who do they want to give it to full time? Fucking Dallas. All right, so that I just think as a Lions organization, at least for the fans, this is kind of like sticking up for the fans. Take the fine and just tell the NFL to go fuck themselves. Honestly, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? They're going to fucking fine
Agreed.
you, kiss my ass, that's it. I mean, you got to stick up for the fans at this point. No one did it during the Calvin Johnson shit. No one did it during the fucking pass interference in the playoff game. This time, someone's got to come out and just let it fucking rip. You know, you tried to take our Thanksgiving game away. You tried to fuck us in the playoff game. You did fuck us in the playoff game. And you fucked us on this one. Like Earl Weaver said, you're only here for one reason. That's to fuck us.
Yes. God. Manager's corner with Earl Weaver.
All right, so next question here I got. Out of all these blunders, so we'll go Galarraga's no-hitter, Calvin Johnson's catch. Which one's the worst?
Oh, the Galarraga one, because it was
worse
so.
than this? You think
It
so?
was so egregious. He was so
worse than
fucking out. He was so out. It was so evident. It was so bad.
Huh. Okay, so you think Galarraga was worse than this one?
Oh yeah, because the Galarraga
okay,
one was, and I mean, let's be honest, like, getting the number 2 seed in the playoffs is very important, especially with Jared Goff and being terrible on the road and outdoors this year. But that would have been a part of history, because that was a perfect game too, if I recall correct. That wasn't just a no hitter.
Yeah, it was a perfect game. I fucked that up for the
So he would have been in the history book. Yeah, man, you remember?
Joyce,
Leyland
Jim
could
Joyce.
have. Yeah, Leyland could have murdered Jim Joyce. I remember that.
Yeah, see, for
Are
me,
you-
I'm taking this one, man, and missing out on the perfect game did suck. That was fucking awful.
It did.
I felt the same way like I did today, but to me, this one just feels worse because it's the Lions. At least, and
Yeah,
you know
I mean,
what's
that's
funny?
fair, Rob.
You know what's
That's
funny
fair.
too, though, man. You know what's funny too is I think that year that happened. Was that the 163 game they had to play the extra game against Minnesota when
That might have been.
when Brandon Inge
Oh,
got hit by the
man.
pitch?
You forgot about that one. That's
the same year, though, I
another
think,
devastating one.
Yeah. When
Yeah, it
Brandon
might
Inge
be.
got hit by the pitch on his jersey, I think it grazed it, and they said he didn't get hit. I'm pretty sure that was the same year as the Galarraga shit, or it might have been around that same time.
might have been.
God.
That's 2013, I think, wasn't it?
Right. Yep.
The jersey thing.
Yep. But to me, this one.
49-19, by the way.
Yeah, and speaking of that, dude, I took the Lions at plus 4.5. It really does make you think, how does Vegas get so close to these fucking scores? I mean, they got all those hotels and all those fucking money for a reason, but holy shit. It's just, fuck. Well,
They certainly got the Florida State game right.
dude, that was not surprising to me. I think we
Nope.
did talk about it at one point. They were going to get ass fucked by fucking Georgia. Georgia absolutely destroyed that ass out there. Your third-string quarterback, that Louisville game, they looked horrible. So there was some writing on the wall that it may be ugly. If you're hanging around with Louisville and not able to put any points on the board, but they got to look stupid as hell. They were coming out there with their governor, I think it was, wanting to go fucking challenge the NCAA and all this wild shit. Yeah, well, you just got stopped. And they're not saying nothing now, are they? Up here in Florida State.
No. Apparently Tua died again, by the way.
Oh, he got a concussion?
I don't know about concussion, but he got rolled up on his shoulders, injured apparently.
Oh, shit. That changes the whole playoff landscape out there.
And Dolphins ain't the damn good. They haven't beaten any winning teams this year.
Yeah, defensively, they can't stop nobody.
They couldn't stop Tua when he's got a concussion.
So the way it's shaping out, though, now, too, man, it looks like it's either going to be the Rams or, ironically, Dallas.
Oh, you know who it's going to be. You and I both know who it's going to be.
Stafford?
We both know. Oh, yeah. And I have a little soapbox about that, man. The guys that bought the Detroit Rams shirts and had their little Ram Stafford jerseys, they are so afraid of it because they're the ones who I hear late night calling in on 97.1 saying, Matt back. I need Matt back.
get
I
the
want
hell
my
outta
Matt.
here.
My Matt. Yeah, there's a guy he called into, it was either Caputo or Costa when I was driving home from work. And he goes, I don't like Jared Goff. He's not going to take us anywhere. And the host's like, well, who do you want? He's like, I want Stafford back. He's like, well, that ain't going to happen,
dude,
you
that
nitwit.
Stafford trade set up our draft picks the next 2 or 3 fucking years. You got a quarterback out of it. We wouldn't have the draft pick capital that we had to grab Branch and to grab all these fucking guys, man. Like,
And you know
off.
whose numbers are identical over the last few years?
Oh, yeah, Goff.
Literally the same. Goff and Stafford have the same exact statistics.
And I don't
They're the
understand
same quarterback.
the other way with it. There's a lot of people who are really vengeful against Stafford. I'm indifferent. I wasn't fucking hurt that he wanted fucking out. It didn't bother me that he wanted out of here. And on the other side, I don't want him back. I was kind of, it really wasn't that crushing of a loss. He'd never won a playoff game here. I didn't really have
Exactly.
I didn't have an attachment to Stafford. You know, if it was Barry Sanders or Calvin Johnson, I had an attachment to Calvin Johnson. Yeah, that fucked me up. But it wasn't. Stafford didn't. There was nothing he did to me that, I don't know. I just never really had that connection with him like a lot of these Lions players, like a Spielman or Herman Moore. There you go, Herman. Don't fall, buddy.
I mean, I think a fact of the matter, going back to some of the Detroit sports stuff, a lot of Detroit sports fans get way too attached to some of the athletes. And, you know, I don't have, Steelers fans that I know, we're not like that. But maybe there are other fan bases that are like that. But, like, I mean, it's the same thing with Tigers fans. There's so many Tigers fans that you and I with Torque.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
people take it super seriously.
I thought you were going to say Bobby Higginson.
Oh, no. But, or like the people with Brandon Inge.
I know.
The guy was terrible, and people were like, oh my God, I need to see Brandon out there.
Yeah, that Brandon
Like
Inge thing, man.
Danny Clear
that
Clear with the Red Wings.
Oh, yeah, and Kirk Maltby. Kirk Maltby just seemed to be the Brandon Inge of the fucking Red Wings. Same thing with...
They've got grit. They represent Detroit. Do they, though? Is Detroit really that gritty?
See, Ben Wallace,
is it really?
Ben Wallace made sense. The Ben Wallace one made
sense.
He did. And when he went to Chicago, that was one I was pissed about when he went to Chicago. He felt like
he ended his own career when he did that too.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, honestly, he had no offensive skills. But it wasn't for Ben Wallace, you're not winning a championship. So Ben Wallace one I understood when he left. But yeah, Brandon Inge, Kirk Maltby, there's a couple other ones I can't think of at the top of my head. You're just scratching your head like, why is everybody? And it was always the women too.
Blake Griffin.
Too. Blake, what is it? Oh, Blake Griffin. But you notice there's always the women with Brandon Inge though. Every damn woman had a Brandon Inge jersey.
Yeah.
But yeah, Detroit seems to have a weird infatuation with these players. Like, you're just like, who the fuck?
Haas is another one.
Everybody loves some Charlie Batch too.
Yeah, Charlie Batch.
Mike McMahon, the backup, the Batch. Remember him?
Yeah. Charlie Batch, Steelers legend. He's one of the play-by-play guys for the Steelers now. Did you know that?
Yeah, he was like the backup for 8 years, right? Long time.
Got 2 rings.
Yep,
Guy got 2 rings.
Eastern Michigan boy,
yeah.
Right there.
But yeah, I think that this all ties back in though, because the emotion goes both ways, because the Detroit sports fans see him. I'm just extrapolating it now. The Detroit sports fans, they'll get very emotional about the player, but at the same time, that emotion blinds them from the stuff like this, where they should get really, really angry. And they're just like, the NFL, they're gonna do what they're gonna do, and yeah.
See,
like there's a lot of them that I seen. Sorry to interrupt. There's a lot of them I seen on Twitter last night that were saying, "Oh, it doesn't matter because we're just playing with house money anyways."
Oh,
next year
off.
it's like,
that's gonna really. Now you're gonna get me going and get upset. No.
Next year is not guaranteed. This division is gonna be very good next year.
Exactly, and the history of the Lions should fucking prove you that. Haven't won a division since '93. Right? You've never hosted a playoff game at your fucking stadium that's been around for fucking 22 goddamn fucking years. You got one playoff win since 1957. I'm sick of reiterating the same fucking shit over and over again, but that just goes to show you, like, you never know what's going to happen next year. God forbid Jared Goff goes out next game and blows his fucking kneecap out. Or, Jameson Williams. Speaking of Jameson Williams, do we have an injury update on him of what happened with that? How he kind of
questionable with an ankle.
Ankle? That's not too bad. It wasn't a knee or anything that's going to be lingering long term.
He was back in there on that 2-point conversion, I think.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah, Lions getting screwed here at the end of that. I had to get out here and talk about it a little bit. I was so sick of fucking thinking about it. I had to have some therapy sessions and getting some of that shit out, man. It was fucking awful. Especially when you're at work watching it and you're just pacing around and there's really nothing you can do. It's not like I can hop on my PlayStation or something. I got to sit there. Oh, it's fucking bad. Man.
Yeah, when you called me out, we were in the final act of it was a concert with a bunch of different performers, and the last one had just gone on, and I'm like, oh, I know you were sitting there just fucking.
Dude, I had to talk to somebody about it because it was bothering me. I was fine up until because initially on the broadcast, Troy Aikman and Joe Buck had said that he didn't check in, so I'm like, okay, I can accept that. Like he fucked up, it's over. Then when SportsCenter came on, they had footage of him going up to the referee, and that's when I lost my shit. That's when my whole mood changed after that. Like, it sucked that he didn't take the extra point. It sucked that Decker, at that point in time, from what we understood, because we didn't have the replay, didn't check in. I accepted it. I was like, okay, that's fine. But as soon as the SportsCenter started pulling out this conspiracy theory, and they had the shot of him walking up the referee, that's when I lost my shit. That's when I couldn't handle it. I couldn't. That's when I called you because I was like, "Oh, there's a lot more to this than they're fucking showing." Then, yeah. And then to see Jerry Jones's fucking face. I don't know if you've seen it, but after the game, they had an interview with Jerry Jones, and the camera was right in his face, bright light on, all his wrinkles and alcoholism showing through his fucking eyes, and he's got this grin on his motherfucking face after the damn game, and that really fucking pissed me off too. Because, of course, he doesn't mention nothing about the goddamn fucking penalty. Oh, the boys played good out there. It was good to have Jimmy Johnson and Michael Irvin back there. This is a good win for the Cowboys. Like, oh, my God. That's just seeing him on the TV screen and just, oh, God. Oh, God.
Yeah, he's a nauseating guy. Breaking news, by the way.
What?
Breaking news. The Philadelphia Eagles just went down to the Arizona Cardinals.
That fucking hurts even more. They could have wrapped up the second fucking seed.
Yep, sure could have. If they won last night, they pretty much would have. And now, like, I can't honestly say if the Lions have to go on the road after the first one. I wouldn't favor them to go into Philly.
That's what
and beat them on the road.
About, I think the last couple NFL podcasts that we were doing was that the Lions kind of needed to get a home field playoff game, a couple of them, to make a playoff run. I don't trust them on the road either. I don't. There's something about being in Ford Field that kind of amps it up a little bit. You see it in the Chicago Bear game when they came back. I think a lot of that, I'm not going to say the crowd wanted for them, but it definitely got them amped and shit, man. This team needed to have some playoff home games to make a fucking run. And
totally agreed.
That don't look like that's going to be the fucking case. I think they might get one. And God, I hope it's
Yeah, they're going to. Yeah, I agree. And the Lions would have had the tiebreaker for the number 1 seed too, or at least the number 2 seed. So it hurts even more. I just dropped that on you, didn't I? You didn't know that,
Dude,
did you?
I couldn't handle it last night. I literally was just pacing around, not knowing what to fucking do with myself. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. I'm like, what do I do? Do I call Roger Goodell? I didn't know what to do. Yeah.
We can do a little wrap up here if you want with a couple of other matters. Right now, the Giants are driving down to try and beat the Rams at the end of their game with 40 seconds left. So
that will set up Dallas, right? Because Dallas, I think,
it would.
Yeah.
Good game cast here. Yeah, Philly lost 35-31 with I think it was 20 seconds on the scoreboard when 36 seconds when they scored the touchdown to win. Kyler Murray 232, 3 touchdowns and a pick. James Conner 26 carries, 128 yards and a touchdown. Jalen Hurts 167 yards and 3 touchdowns. It's not particularly great. Swift had 61 yards. Oh boy. Can we just talk about, too, the uneven performances the Eagles have had this year? Because there have been some real dud performances out of them.
Up, down, up, down, up, down. Yeah, Philly,
Yep.
for what, a good probably, I don't know, about 5 or 6, 7 weeks straight, seemed to be the team that beat, not just in the NFC, but the NFL. They were fucking rolling. I think that Hurts' injury is really starting to come into play here, and they're keeping it low-key, especially since they're not going to get a first-round bye now. And another thing, too, man, talking about Philly, last year I think they were second in the NFL for most sacks all time. Their pass rush was ridiculous. I don't know if you checked out their defensive stats as far as their points allowed. If I'm not mistaken, I think they've given up the second or third most points in the NFL this year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that defense is awful this year. They can still generate a pass rush, but as far as the points they're allowing, they're getting shredded out there. So that's something to watch out for, too, with that Philadelphia team, man. I think Hurts' injury and I think that fucking defense isn't as good as it was last year. You might Philly getting bounced in the first round would be nuts. Almost kind of like Georgia not getting in the fucking college football playoff. But Philly's not as dominant as they were last year.
By the way, the Eagles dropped to the fifth seed with that loss.
Okay, and we got the third, so 6. It would probably still be the Rams at some point because Dallas basically leapfrogged them.
Well, if the Rams lose, what did Seattle do? Did Seattle play yet? God, my head's nauseous looking at this. I do not like ESPN.
I know.
Score
I looked
screen.
at it too. I wish they would actually set it up like a bracket instead of the 1 through fucking 6 seeding and shit. Just set it up like a playoff bracket.
NFL. I like CBS so much better. CBS's screen is so much more organized. That's okay. My eyes aren't getting ass blasted by that either. Does Seattle play? Seattle plays my boys today. No, I don't care about your stupid
Is that
ad.
4 o'clock?
Yeah, they're just getting started, and nobody has it. Most of the country, I think it's like 90% of the country gets Tony Romo frickin' with Patrick Mahomes furiously. Oh, Patty! But so right now you've got San Francisco the 1, Dallas the 2, Lions 3, Tampa the 4 at 8-8. Yikes. Eagles 5th seed, Rams 6th seed, Seahawks 7, New Orleans at 8. So that's kind of your top 8. And the Vikings are on the outside looking in with the Falcons.
Good.
So, yeah. But we're going to see how this falls, Let me pull up that.
We'll have to do it too. I don't know if you want to do it at the start of the playoffs or maybe the end of the year we'll do it. But we had our preview show kind of match up where we were in the standings. See if we actually run.
By the way, Mason Crosby missed a 54-yarder with 34 seconds left, and the Rams will win.
Oh, look at Matt Stafford taking that team down.
For me, if I was I think the best thing for the Lions would be Stafford and the Rams coming in here and the Lions just absolutely shitting on them. Because I think the Lions fans that I talked about that call in and cry about it, Stafford needs to be put out of his misery by the Lions. They have to exercise that ghost to shut these idiot fans up that keep crying for Maddie. They need to go out there. Aiden Hutchinson rips his head off, shits down his throat. Just put him into retirement.
Hutchinson was an animal too last game against Dallas, man. 3 sacks. Yeah.
Finally, after
I guess if I had to pick who I wanted to play, I probably would want Dallas. But Stafford, oh man, I don't know if I could stomach the whole week leading up to it because every article is going to be.
Oh yeah,
my God! And then
with both hands.
Yeah. Did you enjoy your time in Detroit? Oh, did you know you played high school baseball with Clayton Kershaw? It's just going to be over and over again. I don't know.
And then you get to deal with his fucking wife too.
Because, like I said, I don't have nothing against Stafford, but I'm not infatuated with him. I really, it didn't bother me when he left, like it did when Kelvin retired, or Barry, or Ben Wallace. So, I really don't have that attachment to Stafford. So, to me, it's not going to be a big deal. Now, when they got to the Super Bowl, there was a part of me that wanted them just to crash and burn and lose, just because you traded them. But it wasn't really running that deep, like you said. A lot of these people are just attached to the hip with Stafford. Guy never won you a playoff game. Never beat a winning team, right? I think. Wasn't that one of the things? Wasn't he like 1-23 or something against winning teams?
Yeah. By the way, I do have the Seahawks game because it's on Fox, thankfully. So I get to see my Steelers with Mason Rudolph again. Oh, Mason Rudolph drops back to pass, and he throws it at someone's
shit if he don't get the ball. You don't get Pickens the ball, he's gonna fucking lose his shit, man.
Pickens might actually shit on somebody.
I'm talking like literally.
Yeah.
Give him they called it a hot Sanchez.
Heavy action.
Remember when Randy Moss pretended to moon the crowd? What if Pickens literally does do it and then just shits everywhere?
I'll never forget Joe Buck. I'm sorry you folks had to watch that horrifying display, disgusting display.
Defecating. Right.
Come on, Mason. Throw the football away. Oh, God. What are we doing here?
Well, either way, man, hit me up. All right, that's that. Doing some Lions, some NFL. I said we'll do some more podcasts out here coming up soon for the NFL playoffs. Maybe even do a little baseball. We ain't done baseball in a while. Dude, college football, too. Shit, it's New Year's Eve. Fuck. Does it feel like New Year's Eve to you? Don't to me.
No.
It don't.
No.
As I'm sitting here talking, I'm realizing it's fucking New Year's Eve. God damn.
The year just literally vanished before our eyes, dude. It's just gone.
Did. Well, if you want to get out here and do a little college football or whatever after the games tomorrow at some point, hit me up, man. But that's that. See ya.